Hello guys, welcome once again. In the last video I have shown you how to use subs with your Visual Basic Windows Form application, and in this video I will show you how to use functions with your Visual Basic Windows Form application. So first thing is, what is the difference between subs and the functions? Uh, Procedurally or basically they both execute the same kind of code, but the basic difference between subs and function is the subs does not return any value and the function returns the values. Now let me demonstrate what I mean by returning the value. So I have this basic form and I have taken two text boxes, text box 1 and text box 2, and I have this button from the last video which have the text execute sub, but I'm going to change this text in this video and I'm going to the text property and I say execute function this time. Okay, now I'm going to double click this button, and in the last video we have seen how to execute a sub with the help of this button click event, and this was the procedure which we have created, which was the sub procedure. In this video also we will create a add procedure but with the function procedure. So let's create a function. Just go below your button, click sub, or you can make function above here also. So in between your class starting and class end, you can make the function anywhere you want. Okay, so let me start by creating a function. So I will say private, and then I will use the notation function, and I will give the name of the function, which is add function this time, and I will just give the bracket and press enter, and you see here it will automatically creates this end function code for you. Now it also takes, so I have told you that the basic difference between sub and the function is that it returns a value. So we can define what value we are expecting from the function by just going after this parenthesis and write as and what value we are expecting. For example, we are expecting integer. Okay, so we can define here what return value we are expecting from the sub. Okay, and we can pass the parameter to these functions, as we can pass the parameters, as we have seen last time that we can pass the parameter in these brackets in the subs. So I'll just copy it and paste those two values, which is by value a, which is a name of by value as integer, and by val b as integer. Okay, and we will just copy the last code, which what was it was doing is it was taking a and b and adding those two integers and put it into this sum integer. Okay, but now the difference here occurs between function and sub, that we return, so we write return and we will say sum, which is the integer, right? So we already defined here that we are going to return integer here, so we are going to return sum, which is an integer, right? And now I will delete this sub, which was already there in the button click event. Once again I come to the button click event, and this time I'm going to call a function called add function. But first of all, let me create the variable called dim result as integer. Okay, and why I have created this? Because I will store my value which is returned by this function in this variable. So I will write result is equal to, and I will call this add function from here. So I will write add function which appears here automatically, and I will pass my values here. So I will pass the values from the text boxes which I have, right? So I have text box 1 and text box 2. You can see the name from here, the name of the text boxes, and I will write here text box 1 dot text comma text box 2 dot text. Okay, so what I'm doing is whatever I will enter in these text boxes, what it will do is it will add those two values. So I'm passing these two values from here to the function. It will add two values and place it in this sum variable, and it will return this sum as a function, and this return value we are catching it in this integer variable, right? Okay, now I want to show the message which contains the result. So I will write message box dot show, and I will say double quotes the result is, and I'll give this ampersand sign, and I will pass my return variable. Okay, and so this is how this function will execute from here and pass the result in this variable, and which this variable in the message box, it will give the result. Once again I will run the program, and I will give some integer values here and here, and when I run the program, it will give me the addition of those two values, right? But this time it's by using functions. So just remember that the basic difference between subs and function is the function returns the values, and subs just execute the piece of code and it doesn't return any value. Okay, so I hope you have understood the difference between the two, and you have understood the basic concept of functions. So please keep watching these videos, and please rate, comment and subscribe, and bye for now.